My name is Corinne, and I'm 21 years old. I'm currently a senior undergrad at the university, and my major is public administration. So now I'm waiting for my offers from graduate schools in the US, and I'm probably gonna study in the US for 2 years for my public policy, public administration, or international relations majors, and which is also really close to my friend's major, diplomacy. And also I'm currently doing my own NGO. It's called Social Responsibility Practitioners. And it has been a really fruitful but tiring journey during this year for organizing my all the events at my organization, and also managing such a big team with nearly 400 members right now. But anyways, it was great, and I grew up a lot from this journey. And during COVID time, I just feel like people are kind of away from each other, although we are using internet or stuff to communicate, but I just feel like it's still not really enough. I really want to meet up in person with all my friends, my colleagues, my clients or stuff. So I'm the founder and also the director of General Affairs Department of SRP. Oh, okay. So it's I've always been interested in politics, public affairs or stuff. And after my trip to Myanmar, I started to realize that there are not many Chinese NGOs, especially these international NGOs, who conduct this kind of international development projects abroad. And as I know there are many youth in China and all around the world are concerning about sustainable development goals, but they don't really have any chances to practice their plans or initiatives. So I'm thinking what about starting up a NGO for other youth to practice their dreams? And also because of COVID, I was applying for a few internships at UN and also World Economic Forum stuff, but these are all canceled because of COVID. Okay. So basically I was unemployed, and I'm also interested in NGO. So what about just creating some jobs for myself and other youth who are suffering the same situations like me? So yeah, that's basically why I started. Okay, sure. Actually, we got quite broad and goal, which is just social responsibility and SDGs. We actually encourage other youth who have initiatives related to this area. Then you can tell me and tell everyone at SRP. And as long as you can have some concrete plans about how to organize events, how to achieve these goals, then you can just do whatever you want as long as it's legal. And after 1 year, we found out that we mainly are focusing on gender equality and environmental protection right now. So for instance, we have our key project, which is overseas women's right protection. And we're focusing on these immigrant Chinese in other countries, especially in Europe, who are suffering from domestic violence. And especially during COVID time, it's really hard for them to find a shelter or stuff to escape from their current house with their partners. And also because of other pressures economic pressures, employment pressures or stuff, the possibility of domestic violence increased a lot during this time. Okay. So, and plus for these immigrants, they have other kinds of difficulties, such as language barriers or culture shock or stuff. So we really wish to help these immigrant Chinese or to help them to escape from the current situation. Okay. So we started to do projects around March this last year, and so far at the end of last year we already helped 37 like Chinese immigrants in Belgium, in Luxembourg, in Holland, and with the involvement of like more than 150 volunteers across the world. Okay. And also for the environmental protection, it's like we mainly are focusing on like advocacies. We organize online events like webinars with other organizations and also with UNDP movers, like international organizations. So like these events are really successful as far as I think, and we are planning to like organize more like webinar, hopefully seminars offline in Shanghai, in Beijing, or in other countries about it, to like let more youth to know what they should do if they want to like do something regarding like environmental protection. Then yeah, you can say that, but actually I think our current projects are really international, so it's not always like Chinese focused. And so like if you want to do this kind of like NGO or any other kinds of civil society organizations in China, it's going to be a really long procedure for the registration, because you have to find like governmental agencies in China to like become kind of like your manager. I don't know what's the like professional term for it, but anyways, you need to find like these kind of governmental agencies to like to become to manage your organization. It doesn't mean like he will like become like the CEO of your organization, but you have to like get the permission or stuff, and then you need to register under like Chinese Minzhengbu, the Ministry of I don't know how to say Minzhengbu in Chinese in English. Yeah, so basically it's like kind of like not that easy to register. But you can also find other ways, like you can like cooperate with some foundations where like currently existed like NGOs to support your NGO, or maybe you can call it voluntary groups, because so for SRP right now we are not officially registered, but we are like seeking help from foundations, so like we are gonna to be like officially recognized really soon, like next month or stuff. So yeah, that's basically how you want to do a organization in China. Wow, actually it's hard. So like here's the thing. I don't have any courses in my senior year, so like I like most of my time I will like do my graduate school application and prepare for my like exams like IELTS or GRE for applying for US graduate schools. And actually it takes up a lot of time of my daily routine. But like recently I just finished all the applications and all the exams, so like I just like devote almost like all the time, as long as I'm awake, to my organization. But these days I decided to give myself like 7 days off because it's Spring Festival, and just like enjoy time with my family. But yeah, sometimes I really think I work a little bit hard. I just feel like it's not my choice. They choose me. So I hope these schools will like choose me, like let me admit it to their like graduate schools. I'm not. I just feel like I want to like go to some top US universities, because you can find like some really like excellent alumni and networks, and you can learn a lot from your peers, your profession. And I just feel like it's a really valuable experience to study over there for 2 years. Yeah, just some good schools. No, no, that's a really sad story of my life. I think if you want to like successful study, like if you want to like successful performance at school and at your workplace, and then probably you won't be that successful in your like personal life, in your relationship stuff. Well, like be supportive to each other, and like always can learn from each other, be honest to each other. Yeah, that's basically what I think a like ideal relationship is. Well, I think here's the thing. Like in my sophomore year, I was like there's no turning point for me. I think it's like let me think. I think it's probably not a turning point, but it just helped me to realize like you cannot like be like success in everything. And probably sometimes you will fail at something you're really good at. So it's like in sophomore year, I was like preparing for Model United Nations, and like at Jilin University. Have you heard of that? New York MUN. So like the successful like delegates from Jilin University will be sent to New York to like participate in their conference.
Yeah.
And I was so excited for that. I thought that I will definitely be like admitted by the teacher over there, because yeah, I was so confident at that time. But actually in the end I failed. And actually I devoted a lot to these like Model UN, because actually the exercise and all the preparation was during weekend. Like so like I was also like applying for double major for international economics and trade, and I just feel like Model UN is like a more valuable stuff for me, so I just gave up my double major and devote all my time on the weekend time to the Model UN. But then in the end, after like half a year, I failed, which means that I cannot like choose my double major again. And at the same time, I couldn't go to New York. So I was just like, I was so painful at the time. I cried a lot and cried in front of all my roommates. And I just I couldn't believe that. And I just always feel like other girls like are like lower than me, but how come they got admitted by this program? And I just realized that sometimes you cannot be successful, and there are also like some other factors. I'm not saying that it's not fair or stuff. Anyways, I just feel like there is some other like how to say like factors that are controlled by other people, that is like it's not only based on your merits, on your ability or stuff, and then you just cannot achieve the like your like ideal goals. So like I thought that it was the end of my like competitions or stuff, but actually I got something more like interesting and more valuable. I think I like went to some field researches in like Myanmar, and also do an online research about South Africa, and I went to other countries for exchange programs and also internships or stuff. And I just feel like it's okay if how to say, it's like if someone close the door for you, then some like the window will be open. So it's like even though I lost that opportunity, but I got something like better. First of all, I would say my family, because they're always been so supportive to me. Because actually here's a really important coworker at my organization. I know that their family, like especially her dad, is not really supportive to her about doing NGO. And anyways, I'm just really grateful that my parents are really like encouraging me to pursue my goals and help me with my like my accommodation, my food, like daily stuff, and they don't charge me anything from that. And they also give me a lot of freedom comparing with like most of Chinese families.
Okay.
To like give me the courage to choose like whatever I think is right. But yeah, I think that's the thing that I'm most cheerful for. Well, I would say like I want to like work at some developing countries for like 3 years after my master's degree, and because I just feel like it will be a really like valuable experience for my life, especially in the future. I really want to do like more things related to international development or corporate social responsibility stuff, and it will be like really like how to say like it will change my mind, and it will give me more like professional skills related to this field. And secondly, I would say I want a boyfriend. I want a boyfriend. Yeah. That's great. I mean, if it really happened, I would say like firstly, I will like use this money on my organization first, because we are really lacking of like sustainable fund. We want to establish more offices across the world, especially first of all in European countries, and then around Belt and Road countries for our projects. And yeah, that's basically what I want to do. Oh, and by the way, because I want to like move to a new city, so I'm wondering like, is it possible for me to use this money to like get like rent a house or rent an apartment? That's enough, not a house, rent an apartment, a bigger apartment, so I can invite my like co-workers from SRP to like join, and we can live together with stuff. Yeah. That's basically how I use my money for. I'm so grateful that my parents gave me so much like freedom. Yeah. So like for me, I would say recently, because I'm about to stepping into the kind of like work sphere, I just feel like I'm insecure about my work experience. I just feel like these senior professionals are more like they know more about this area, and probably they will look down at me. I always feel like that. And because recently I'm also like talking with more people like around 30 or 40 years old, I'm just feeling like they probably think I'm a little kid. I don't know anything, but I'm like doing my own like organization, or probably gonna do my own company in the future. They will just think like, oh, it's just a kid. It's gonna last for a long time or stuff. Kind of like insecure of. And yeah, and also like before that will be more about study, about your grade ranking or stuff, your GPA. So that's also like what I'm insecure of. So like for me, I would say like your own professional skills and network are both important.
Yeah, both important.
But the home is like something like out of the kind of appropriate range of network is like way too much networks. So like for professional skills, yeah, that's definitely important, because that's what you're gonna like rely on in the like professional sphere. But for networking, I would say it's also important, because it shows like communicational skills. It shows like how you can like deal with the public relations. It shows that you can bring many resources for the companies. So I think network is also important. And for me, like for like members who are applying for SRP, my organization, I really value that if they have enough networks and resources, so like they can make our organization bigger to connect us with more like well established, like well-known organizations. But if you only use a kind of relation or network as your way to get admitted by somewhere, I think that's not really fair for other competitors who are like as good as you or maybe like better than you. Yeah. So both are important, but you have to use it wisely.